Hello and what is up, my friends? It is Thunder Bob here, and the long-awaited day has finally come. The Diablo IV beta is here, and I'm checking out Diablo IV for the first time. This is the first hands-on I've had at all. I've watched some of the trailers and a little bit of gameplay, but I'm super excited to check this out. I love the Diablo franchise. Diablo II is by far my most played game of all time, and I'm really excited about this. It seems from the previews that it may got things right. You know, it's pulling the right things from the entire series, and I really just want to jump in and play. I'm going to try to do a couple of videos throughout the beta. This is, I think, going to be a single-player playthrough. I'm going to try to arrange a co-op playthrough with a friend of mine, but tonight I am going to be playing the Sorceress. This will be a lengthy session, hopefully a couple of hours, if I can manage to squeeze it in. I'm going to go with the guy. Though in Diablo 2 I always played the Sorceress because you had no choices here. Let's see, how much customization do we get? You can choose skin tone, freckles, clear skin. It's actually way more options than I was expecting. I was thinking it was going to be like a couple of skin tones, but like the variety here is pretty impressive for Blizzard. Like thinking like Diablo 3 I had very limited. Diablo 2 had like none whatsoever. Let's see, my eye color is kind of like blue-green. I wish, so like, the colors in this little box don't really correspond, I don't think, with the actual eye color, right? Like, that just looks like white. Like, they could definitely make this correspond better with what's in the little box here. That kind of looks like my eye color. Got like a turquoise kind of thing. Hair color. I am blonde, like, kind of dark blonde at this point. Though I'm getting some grays, actually, in my old age. Honey blonde? Sunflower? More like a light brown these days, I guess. Makeup. I don't really need makeup, I don't think. Oh, you can make him look like... I did pick the Sorceress, right? Or the Sorcerer. Because that looks like makeup like a Necro would have. Kind of looks like the bad guy from the first Doctor Strange movie. I don't think I want any earrings. But those are pretty cool. Can you not pick, like this stuff I would think would be jewelry, but maybe that's different, maybe... You're probably never going to see any of this stuff because, you know, of course you've got armor on, but that's pretty cool, I like that. I'm gonna go with that. Ooh, the black, I like that, but also reddish to it. And that would good. Kinda wish you could pick different tones, that would be cool, like two-tone. I am not gonna start on hardcore. Alright, and start. I am not really new, and I don't really want a million pop-ups if I can help it. So, players who are new to Diablo, levels 1 to 50, enemies are easier, but you get extra experience, more gold. I'm gonna go with veteran. I'm gonna start there. If I have trouble, I'm sure you can change this probably on the fly. Yeah, this may be changed at any time. Okay, we're gonna start there. Oh no! No! Alright, so that was kind of depressing. I had to restart because I could not get past that error message. Got back in again, and I think I can play this time. So I've got the world tier set to veteran, and actually it looks like here you can actually see, so Nightmare recommended 50 to 70, Torment 70 plus. Yeah, interesting. I kind of assumed you could change these at any time, but it seems like this is made for late game, and then probably post game. You have to unlock it by completing certain objectives. Okay. And then, yeah, veteran. I did come in here, I turned DLSS on, I set it to quality, I set my max FPS. 3440 by 1440, we're going to see how ultrawide runs. Got pretty much everything else maxed out. Yeah, we're going to jump in and see how this performs, and let's see, second time's charm, please. Yes.
Sanctuary was never meant for humankind. It was forged as a refuge from the war between the high heavens and the burning hells. Instead, it became a new battleground in this eternal conflict. A secretive group called the Haradrim has kept mortals safe. But now this once powerful order is a husk of what it was. And Sanctuary's ancient creators have returned to claim the hearts of humankind. This is the story of their downfall.
Okay.
I should find better shelter before I freeze.
interesting how it starts out. Like, I saw a couple weeks ago they had a cinematic that had your player character, and I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. Like, you know, Diablo 2 didn't really do that. Diablo 3, don't think they did that. Like, your custom character really wasn't shown much. And it kind of makes it more personal, but also, like, the stakes feel a little bit smaller. Like, the stakes in Diablo 2 in the cinematics are always so epic and crazy. Yep, this feels like Diablo. I get some gold. I like the lighting. Like, Diablo 2 Resurrected kind of has that same lighting model where all of the objects in the world kind of have their own real-time shadows. I think that adds a lot to the kind of the ambiance and the atmosphere. So it looks like I need to head this way. I'm just kind of wandering around here. And I'm going to try to do as long of a session as I can. I do have to have dinner with the family and hang out with them when they come home. So this first video will probably be like my first 2 hours or so. And that's how long before they get home. And then I'll probably play tonight with my buddy. I'll probably do some co-op sessions. So this is going to be my main playthrough, single player, or solo I should say, is going to be the Sorceress. I'll probably make a new character and play with him. I'm thinking maybe a rogue, depending on what he makes. If he goes rogue, I'll probably do Barbarian. But I love Diablo. Diablo is like I said, the series I've played the most. Diablo 2 I've put so much time into. I'm really kind of curious about this. Some of what they said in the latest interviews have sounded kind of hopeful. You know, they're like, they want to take the atmosphere and the scariness from Diablo 1. They want to take, you know, the systems from Diablo 2. They want to take...
Careful! He's a wild one.
You know, the combat and like the sheer like epicness of the action from Diablo 3, and in the past I've talked about it. I think that's a good way to go, because there are people who like each of those games. Personally, I think Diablo 2 is the best, but there's pieces of each of them that I really enjoy.
What's it to you?
Oswen, hush! I'm sorry, Wanderer. You've come at a difficult time. This madman just stumbled into town and started causing trouble.
Demons spilling from the ruins. Kill us all! Kill us all!
Ruins? What is he talking about?
Come, I'll explain.
Okay. And you can use the mouse wheel to zoom in. That's about as far as you can go. But you can get a pretty good look at your character.
That poor monk back there must have gone inside. Even a holy man like him was driven mad by whatever he saw.
And if you're new to the channel, I do have something like 150 Diablo 2 videos on the channel. I've got some Diablo 1 playthroughs. I've even got a little bit of Diablo 3 content. Diablo 2 has definitely been my biggest over the years.
Could you protect us from whatever is out there? We have nowhere else to turn.
There is evil lurking in those ruins. I will drag it into the light of day.
So that leveled me up.
I'm sorry, it's a bit... What's that? Oh, you poor thing.
Are these characters like...
Devmir's taking up all the space by the fire.
Oh, that guy heals
Just
you. That's cool.
give him a shove. Fire's looking good. But I should
Doesn't seem like they
watch it
have
a
like
little longer.
choices when you're talking to
make
them.
sure
Like
it
Diablo
doesn't go
2, you
out.
know, you run into them and you could ignore it or not, but they'd have
These will
like
keep
5
you
different
safe.
dialogue choices. You can get some basic armor. I'm not probably gonna buy anything just yet. Back power, armor. Let's see if I hit I, brings that up. You can look at your profile, material, and stats. So it looks like you have a material inventory, which is separate from your main inventory, which is something people have asked for in like Diablo forever. You know, for like a, you know, a rune or a charm bag, that sort of thing. So it looks like you have a separate area here for materials, which looks like these are used for crafting. You got your equipment, consumables on a separate tab, quest items, and aspects, whatever aspects are. And a sort button, nice. Red dust for PvP, curiosity vendors, gold. Definitely feels like a Diablo game. I'm kind of like looking at these because when the beta's over, I'm going to take time and probably like really dig into all of these different fields. So I kind of just want to look at everything. So you get critical strike chance, critical strike damage, overpower. When you cast a skill, it has a chance to overpower all of the damage it deals. Overpower deals damage bonus based on the sum of your current life and fortify. So they've got a way to like use your defensive stats in damage. That's interesting. Vulnerable, thorns, max life, potion charges. You have a total number of potion charges you can have available at a time. This includes the base 4. You start with 0. Start with and 0 additional charges. Okay. I wonder if that's kind of like Elden Ring's kind of system, like a Dark Souls game where you get additional charges over time. And I wonder if they're on a timer. We're going to find that out momentarily, I'm sure. Armor contribution. You got your resistances. Shadow. I notice there's no physical resistance here, but I'm wondering if maybe that's just reduces incoming physical damage. So armor is actually damage reduction and not like chance to hit, it seems like. Mana regen, movement, cooldowns, lucky hit, damage reduction, armor contribution. I have a 93% PvP damage reduction at the moment. And we got our abilities. I have 1 point. Basic skills, deal damage aren't always available. So after I spend 2 points, I can go down here. 6 points, 11 points, 16 points, 23 and 33. So these are almost like the way that they're level gating. I wish I could zoom out just a little more so I could see everything. Like this is as far as you can go. And I'm on an ultra-wide big monitor here. Like I almost... Oh, okay, you can. Good. Like, that would be stupid not to expand that, right? We got Firebolt, Frostbolt, Spark, and Arc Lash, and I believe you can refund things for gold cost. Well, that was what the last video that talked about it indicated. You got Paragon, but you don't get that to level 50. So this is much more like Diablo 2, but my understanding is they've also taken some things from Diablo 3. Like, you have your main skills, and then you have ways to augment them, almost like the rune system in Diablo 3. And I don't think these take any resources, and maybe even generate resources. These are like the spenders, right? Yeah, 40 mana, 20 mana. I kind of want to try fire to start with. Hurls a flaming bolt dealing 3 damage and burning 12 for another 8. Arc Lash. Unleash arc lightning that deals 13 damage to enemies in front of you every 10 times. It stuns. Oh, that's pretty cool. 10 damage, chilling for 15, and Spark, launch a bolt of lightning that shocks an enemy 4 times, dealing 2 damage each hit. That actually sounds pretty cool. 13 damage versus 3, and then 12 over time. Over time, like at low level when you should be killing things fast, doesn't seem so great. Maybe I'll start with lightning. And I want to see... So right now I can refund for basically 0. So that's cool. Does this just default onto my... Yeah, it's my left click. Okay. Let's get moving. Ice Hell Hide. Is that how you say that? Potion charges can drop from enemies and objects, and armor can be picked up when not at max capacity. So Q, but I'm already full, so I can't do that.
I need time to prepare.
You got a lunge or an evade on a cooldown on space. I'm using a mouse keyboard, of course.
Roads blocked. Should clear up when the storm has passed.
Yeah, that Arc Lash. It would seem silly to do something that does damage over time this early when you're like one-shotting with like... Okay, so you can also... If I hit S, it brings up this menu. Which is maybe just like at a glance you can really... Or is this like Diablo 3 where it can only put certain things on certain buttons? I'm not sure. but 13 damage and has a chance to stun. This one does more damage, but it takes a lot longer to actually go. 4 damage, dealing 2 damage each hit. So that actually, that would deal 8. Like, Arc Blast just seems like it does the most damage, right off the bat. And there are ranks to these skills. I'm sure there's more to it. Sorry if I'm, like, overanalyzing everything. I'm definitely, like, I'm gonna be looking at these videos when the beta's off. I'm gonna be theory crafting and figuring out stuff. Like, I kinda hate... There's already people up before the beta even started, before anyone's actually played the game. You know, where people are... Oh, that hits multiple enemies. I did not know that. That's very cool. You know, there's already people out there who are making guide videos. The best source build, the best bar build. Basically just going off of, you know, screenshots and Blizzard videos, and it just seems ridiculous. People, you know, looking for clicks on their videos. I'm definitely more of, I'm gonna play before I put any content out there. I'm not gonna be like, hey, I know exactly what you should do. Because that's stupid. No one knows what's gonna be powerful at the end game yet, unless they're somehow in, you know, Blizzard's apprentice family beta, in which case they'd be breaking NDA to talk about. So all these videos, it's just people bullshitting. You know, after this beta weekend, you know, I think we'll have a better idea. But even that, the beta's only going up to level 25. And, you know, like in Diablo 2, what works in normal difficulty, or Diablo 3, is completely different from the strategies, from the builds that work late game. So I think it's just ridiculous for people this early to make those kind of videos. You know, maybe by the end of the weekend, I'll make a short video about, like, the build I created, but I'm not going to talk about it authoritatively, like this is some magical build or something. It's just, I'll probably talk about the skills I've used and things like that. Yeah, so that's my my mini rant on the stupid videos I've been seeing. I just brought up the FPS graph here, and this is running really nicely. I've got everything maxed out. I am running a 3080 at 10,700K, but I gotta say, it looks, I'm almost locked at 143, 140, not quite hitting 144 for some reason, but I'm sure I set the cap. I can't stop right now. I thought I set the cap to 144, hope I didn't bring it down to 143. But it's pretty close to being maxed out. You know, I would maybe drop it to 100 just so I don't have those little dips from time to time. And they put out a video I saw that showed some people playing co-op, and it was like way overly bright and just looked terrible. But my feet are like going through the ground there. It's a little funky. And it was like super bright, and it had all these colors on the loot. I think it was probably because they brightened up the video to make it more understandable, like what was going on. And then I think like the coloring over the items is because it was in co-op, and it was like you could see it was same screen co-op, and it was so that you could see you know, what items you are able to pick up, because it's not shared loot. At least that's my assumption. I need to put some more points in because my damage is. Let's look at the skills again. Who was it? Let's turn that off. So I could keep bumping this up, which will bump it to 14 damage. So if it critical strikes, it swipes an additional time. I don't have very much critical strike chance yet. And then you can only pick one of these. So that's where it kind of feels like it's going into like the Diablo 3 territory, where you're having to make choices. So 6% movement speed for 5 seconds per enemy hit. Okay, that's cool. Or hitting stun enemies with Arc Flash reduces your cooldown. I mean, since I can reset these for like no cost right now, I'm just going to go ahead and put a couple points here, and then we will probably swap these out, you know, in a couple levels just to try out like fire and ice. It's definitely like the shorter ranged attack. The Diablo 3 had a pretty similar lightning ability. One of the starter attacks, the generators. I don't think it was Arc Clash, but to be honest, while I played a lot of Diablo 3, I beat it with every character class. Like, I had a greater rift into like the 100 and something by the end. I definitely liked Diablo 2 way more and spent way more time and kind of thought energy on Diablo 2. So my memories on Diablo 3 are a little older, to be honest. Hell, touched corridor. Like, I love the lighting in here. It looks great. Alright, I was looking at my abilities when I realized, before I move forward, expand that. I have enough points, actually, to come down here and check out some of these abilities. So I'm gonna... maybe I'll try out Crossbolt, which goes up to 12 on the second, and then I can come down here and I can try out like Frozen Orb, Ice Shards, Teleport. I think there is already some skill calculators out there. Ooh, Hydra. Can't wait to try out Hydra. And it looks like you have free respecs until level 15, so I'm definitely going to be playing around with this. I'm totally wanting to try out Frozen Orb. Frozen Orb has always been one of my favorite abilities in Diablo. Yeah, look at that. And that does use mana, so like... And I think, does this generate? Killed enemies have reduced movement speed. I'm not sure if these generate resources, but your mana regenerates quite fast here. Ooh, Fallen. Oh, where is the shaman? Where's the shaman? Where's the shaman? I love the sound it makes. It's like rattling its little staff there, and it's got little dangly bits rattling. It's a cool effect. Yeah, and this is super easy right now. And I do have it on the higher difficulty. But, I mean, I guess Diablo 2 early on can be difficult, especially for a caster, because mana regenerates pretty slowly in Diablo 2. Fiery. Okay, so that's like a boss.
Out of mana once again.
It seems like I do have a chance to completely freeze. Dealing 9 damage and chilling. Bring a bolt and chilling. So I'm not sure what a repeatedly chilling enemy will freeze it. Okay, I didn't read that at the bottom. So if you chill them enough, you can freeze them. That's pretty cool.
Out of mana.
Yeah, so far I'm digging this. It feels like a compromise between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. Like, it's a little slower paced than Diablo 3, at least this brief session I've had so far. But it feels a little more easygoing than Diablo 2. Like, Diablo 2, especially for a caster, is kind of a painful opening. Can be. You know, you have very limited life. Your skills don't really, you don't get a lot of damage early on as a caster. Especially for AoE. Like, you have no AoE abilities as a caster for a long time, as a sorceress, at least. You have, like, charged bolt. But you don't get Frozen Orb. Like, that, to me, that's kind of crazy. I've got Frozen Orb, even though it's only doing 10 damage or whatever. Having that this early is pretty gnarly.
I'm not ready yet. I'm out of mana.
Alright, let's use that potion. And let's actually try to time my dodges. Because I totally whipped on that one earlier. Yeah. Dodge is a pretty cool addition. Like, they've had dodge in Diablo 3 for the console for a long time. And I never played the console version, but I definitely read a lot of people who talked highly of that addition.
I need time to
And I always felt like it's a cool idea to give you a little bit more active dodge rather than just require, you know, to be so dependent on like your stats for evading to actually have like an active dodge mechanic in a Diablo. It seems in some ways antithetical to what Diablo is, but at the same time, I kind of dig it. You know, like Dark Souls have proved that like the more strategic combat can definitely go a long way. Like Diablo 2 has a lot of strategy, Diablo 2 has some strategy, but I think the dodge and actually like a quick mechanic just adds some additional tools to your kit, I guess, is the way I'm thinking about it.
I'm out of mana.
Oh, he's gonna drop on me again. It does feel just a little bit laggy. You know, this is obviously the first day the beta has gone up. Literally the first, it's 2 o'clock here. Beta's been up 2 hours on the East Coast. Oh, I just noticed that's like glowing. I guess that's where it wants me to go. Alright. That wasn't too hard. Of course, that's probably comparable to like the Den of Evil or something with how big this game is likely. I'm getting a little bit of, maybe when I loaded in that new area, you kind of saw the drop down there. I should have had that running when I was going through the areas.
You've returned.
The old ruins are clear. Your town should be safe now.
Truly. Ha! By the light, you are heaven sent. Oh, I'm so sorry. We haven't any coin to offer. But we have hot stew, good company, and...
Stay for a pint.
Wash out the taste of the stew.
We'd be honored if you'd join us.
To our savior.
This is kind of goofy as hell. When it transitions, watch the FPS there if it does it again. Oh, is he gonna have like a vision or something in his drunken stupor? Wait, are they like cannibals? They're cannibals, aren't they? These videos feel like the engine is doing a little more lifting than it's really capable of. I'm intrigued, though, where this is going. So are they cultists? Why did they send me to kill the demons? Did they expect that I was gonna die? Or are they just cannibals?
By mother's blood, my mother's body. So, shall you witness her glory before you die?
He definitely brought the gore factor back from like the original Diablo and Diablo 2.
They're coming! The whole damned village! Get up! Get up! We have to fight our way out! There! Take them! May the light preserve us.
It definitely feels a lot darker than Diablo 3.
Lost souls! All of you!
And not just like graphically, but like the tone. Oops. I was trying to move with WASD. What am I doing? This is Diablo. That shit don't work. So there is, I think, controller support. I might have to plug one in and try it out with the other character I make. Tonally, I'm totally digging this right now. Like,
Blessed like us now.
it feels, I don't know, very Diablo-esque.
Light willing.
Which is something I was kind of worried about, you know, like, the original Diablo. Now look at those FPS now. It's almost like when certain scenes happen, like the FPS fluctuates a little, like I could feel it lagging there. And then it kind of caught up. I might have to adjust the settings a little bit.
Madman. Those heretics drugged me after I returned from the ruins. Just like you. I came to my wits and escaped. Tried to get inside the chapel, but it was locked and... What manner of evil is this? Petals? Of blood?
They must have fed them to me.
A blasphemous ritual. How did they learn this? Perhaps the answer lies in the chapel. They kept it locked up for a reason. The key might be on that woman who was leading them.
I want to just check my drops so far. I haven't, like, equipped anything. Okay, so you can just right-click. So, shift to compare. Yeah, I probably should have swapped that out. Now, I'm not sure attack power based on your offensive stats scaled with your currently wielded weapons damage. So, I'm assuming, like Diablo 3, your attack power also impacts your spells, which is something very unlike Diablo 2. That gives me intelligence. Does that give me more mana? I don't think so. Yeah, I think you're always at 100. Mana is, I think, just chapel key. It's always 100, and your skills like scale to it, kind of deal. I kind of want to turn up the music. Like, I can just barely hear those violins in the background.
Only fire can cleanse the darkness in this place.
Like the ones I was fed. Is this real?
shameful. Our Father has granted you a path to salvation. And yet, you stray from it at every opportunity. You drink and gamble. You covet and steal. Shameful.
Is that the priest who saved you, or is that a different priest?
Sin is their birthright. My children. The lords of hell are coming to devour our world. Salvation lies not in the light, but in you. The faith has taught you to deny your heart's desire and turned you into a prisoner within yourself. Break the chains and discover who you were meant to be. Break the chains and be beautiful in sin.
Resist! Resist her temptation! Vani, it's me. I brought your child into this world.
For in-game cinematics, these aren't too bad. I'm definitely digging the tone here a lot. Lilith is beautiful and frightening, like...
They have awakened, Mother.
Yes. Remember, there's a lot of speculation.
Many. Go to the dry steps and continue your preparations. Now, our true work begins.
Remember, there's a lot of speculation on who that character is, like it might be Rathma.
You came to thank the light. Looking for the town priest. He stopped sending tithes, and I came to find out why. As I neared the village, I sensed darkness around the ruins. I went to investigate. Found the priest's body. Demons. Foolishly, I took shelter in Nevesk and ate their food. You know the rest.
Yep, he tried to rape me.
You collapsed inside. I thought the darkness had swallowed you. I dragged you here and put this cursed place to the torch. What happened to you in there?
I saw a vision. A horned demon. She said the lords of hell are coming. She wanted to help the people survive.
Help them?
Yes. She called them her children. And they welcomed her like a mother.
Mother? No. It cannot be.
I must report to the cathedral.
Listen, there is a hermit to the northeast. A man of questionable loyalty, but he knows of the forbidden. He might be useful to us.
Bring him to the cathedral in Kyovashad, and you will be in the light's favor.
Good deal. Lilith is an interesting character, because in the backstory, she was a demon who... It's kind of unclear she like fell in love with or used an angel, and they procreated together and basically created like the original the humans, the Nephilim, what have you, and basically created Sanctuary. And then I'm a little vague on this, it's been a little while. I've got the Book of Lilith, actually, that they put out. But she got, like, banished for a long time, and the angel she slept with, die. Like, I need to actually go back and... I've got the Diablo 1 and the Diablo 2 manual still around here. But she's not altogether, like, evil in my mind. Like, there might be some truth to her coming to try and, like, if Diablo and Baal and Mephisto are coming back, and their end goal is to destroy all of humanity. Lilith may not align. You're going to permanent stat boost. Well, that's a cool concept. Her goals may not align completely with that of the Primevals, which I find kind of fascinating, that there could be, like, another side to this. It's kind of the same way, like, the angels aren't altogether good. You know, like, in some ways, they want to just wipe out humanity at times. Is this where I came from earlier? I have the worst memory in the world, by the way. In the same way, like, the angels, sometimes their motivations are questionable. I feel like Lilith, she's almost certainly going to be the main bad guy, but I feel like they're going to make her a little grayer, maybe. And I could be wrong on that, but that just kind of, reading into the lore, I feel like she may not be the big baddie in the end. She'll probably be someone you have to fight, but I kind of feel like maybe the other 3 Primevals come back. If not in this game, in an expansion. Yeah, so far I'm really digging this. The tone of it, the pace of it. Ooh, nice. Some of the cinematics feel a little lengthy, because, like, I'm sure there's going to be way more of them since they're in engine and they don't have to be done by, like, the big team. It kind of feels like it slows down the pace. But, like, after I play through this game one time, I'm probably not going to watch them, you know, every time I go through. So, it's kind of fine to, you know, your first time, it's going to kind of slow you down and make you take your time with it a little more. Yeah, and those FPS. It seems like they're maybe, like, when you go from one zone to another or something, like, it's loading assets, and it feels a little weird. I mean, I'm running an NVMe here. I've got 3080, 10700K. I've got a pretty high-end machine. And, like, just randomly, I'm getting from, like, 140 down to 60. And it mostly seems to be, like, scene transition.
I lack the needed milk.
Duck. That's interesting. So I can climb down. If I go... I'm gonna go climb down and see what's down there. There's, like, multiple paths here. Looking at the bigger world. I think... So that's the dry steps. So this is just, I think, the area of the beta, basically. And that's a pretty huge area to, like... So this is where I've explored already. I'm pretty sure this is all unlockable in the beta. And, like, dry steps, I think, is Act 2. Yeah. And then Kyrgyzstan. Maybe that's not a 2 sign. Maybe that's just a... I don't know. Oh, it shows the recommended level. Fractured Peaks. Oh, okay. So maybe this isn't. Dry steps are over here. I kind of, seeing it on the map over here, I assumed it went that way. So maybe this is the whole map then. You can see the level. Is that recommended or required? I don't know. Dry steps. Fractured Peaks. I know Fractured Peaks is the area that is available in the beta, so I guess as we unlock this, I'll figure out more. I might switch out my skills here in a minute. Oh, that's a cool enemy. He's got like a spider on his back. That was gnarly looking. I really dug that. I just realized A is the ability shortcut. I was like trying to figure out what it was. I knew in here I could press like C and A That's actually the key on your keyboard, like, by default, that pulls it up. So I wish there was, like, another key, like, maybe, like, Shift-A, that would bring up, like, the expanded one. So I got some more points here. So I played around with going Frost. I kind of want to reset again, because it's still free. And maybe we'll try Fire. And I've got Incinerate, and I've got Fireball. Incinerate, channeling a beam of fire. Channeling is cool, like, in some ways, but also you have to sit there. So, like, it kind of sucks. But I kind of want to see a little bit of everything. So maybe I'll, put 2 points there. Yeah, so now I got... Does it auto put it on my bar? Oh, I don't have... I need 7 points before I can get another skill, so... Well... I'm gonna just take a look at what these look like. So you got Fireball. Okay, you know what? I was just saying channeling kind of sucks at times. Look at the range on that thing. And one thing I did want to acknowledge, I should have said at the beginning. Ultrawide support out of the box, I'm very, very pleased about. Like, Diablo 2 Resurrected, when it was in the initial alpha, there's a bunch of videos on the channel from the alpha where it did support Ultrawide, and then when it came to full release, they suddenly changed it. So if you're running a 21:9 monitor, it like truncated the screen, not completely, but to some extent, it did, you know, pull back, which kind of blows. So yeah, I'm like digging the fact that right out of the gate, it seems like Ultrawide's going to be supported, unless they are dumb again and decide to pull out Ultrawide support. So, yeah, Ultrawide is here. I'm hoping to stay. Did this just loop me back? I just realized that just went back here. Maybe I should look at what this... I didn't go down that path yet. I'm supposed to have my roof repaired today. I'm in Florida, and we lived through Ian, which sucked. And I've been waiting for them. They did the tear off on like Monday, and every day it's like, oh, they'll be there, and it's been a big pain in the butt. So if you hear a bunch of people, you know, hammering on my roof, that's why. I don't know if I love Fireball, or Firebolt. It feels a little lackluster. Like, since part of its damage is damage over time, like, to really make use of it, like, you kind of gotta, like, fire, and, like, maybe I need to look at the skills associated with it. Maybe there's a way, maybe it becomes AoE. But, like, that's definitely not, like, the skill I would start with. I think Flame Lash or Arc Lash seemed a lot better. Flame Lash is a Magic the Gathering skill. Yeah, let's go back here. So, okay, so this is how that works. There we go. And then there's Fireball. The nice thing on Fireball, of course, is you can cast and then keep moving. I don't know if I saw faster cast rate as, like when I was looking at all the skills in here. Utility, mana regen, movement speed, maximum mana, damage reduction. Weapon speed, vulnerable. I'll have to do some research on this, but I'm not seeing... I'm not seeing FCR as a thing, which, if this is as fast as I can do Fireball, it feels a little cumbersome, just to be honest. But they might be using the slower attack speed to try to make combat feel more, not slow, but more deliberate. Like, when you get FCR super crazy and attack speed, like, you know, so high that you're attacking 50 times a second, you don't have to put as much thought into each action, but when you're attacking a little bit slower, maybe you need to be a little bit more deliberate in your choices, and it's almost like Dark Soulsy, where it's like attack, attack, you gotta dodge, attack, attack, and you can't just hold down the attack button. We'll see.
Is anyone here? What are you hiding back here?
Short fangs, young, freshly turned, an easy kill.
Is it the Druid?
If you're going to trespass into my home, rifle through my things, then at least have the decency to join me for supper. I'm bloody hungry.
Ah, he doesn't seem so bad.
That's quite the story.
I wish it wasn't true, but it is. Why did I have that vision?
Thank those friendly villagers. They gave you the blood of Lilith.
The blood of a demon?
Not just any demon. The daughter of hatred. The mother of sanctuary. She was banished ages ago. But this world is her creation. It was prophesied she would come back.
What does she want?
That's the question. Sanctuary has always been trapped amid the eternal conflict. A war between angels and demons. But Lilith serves neither side. She has her own plans for us.
And me? Am I corrupted?
Not sure yet. But you two share a connection. What will you do about it?
Use it. Find out what she's after.
Good. Then we're in this together. Rest while you can. Then we'll start in Kyovashad. If we can't stop Lilith, we'll all be damned.
I do wonder how that connection between you and Lilith is going to play out. Like, I wonder if you're going to have some choice where you can kind of, like, go to the dark or the light, or... Like, I remember in the original Diablo 3, like, the one that Blizzard North was working on before they dissolved, that there was some things that they were building out where it was like you could actually align with like demons or angels, if I remember right, and curious if they might go that route again.
I'm out of mana.
At the moment, I kind of like Frozen Orb better than Fireball, just because of its bigger range. Or not range, like its wider radius. Like Fireball, if it hits, it explodes pretty nicely, but it's an orb. The area it covers seems a lot smaller than Frozen Orb, which, I mean, that's how it was in Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 as well. So you got item power you can look at, but then you also have the armor and the stats on them. Neck item... Like, maybe it's not too bad. I definitely don't like Firebolt very much. I think I preferred Frostbolt because, well, the damage wasn't great. It did chill, whereas the fire seems to just have like a chance of stunning. Fallen Overseer.
Never thought I'd live to see your work.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and play around with the skills again. So we know it's A now. Let's refund all. So what have I not played with? I did the Frost. I tried Lightning initially, but I didn't try Spark. You know what I didn't do? I didn't put the points in here. So that would give Frostbolt has a 50% chance to explode on chilled enemies. Well, that's pretty cool. Firebolt pierces. Well, that would make Firebolt a little bit better. And then that's a critical strike based, which I feel like at this level, like what is my critical strike chance? I wish it defaulted to this tab. Where am I at? 5% chance to do extra damage. Or to swipe an additional... Basically 5% chance to do double damage. Each time Spark hits its primary target, it has a 20% chance to hit up to 3 additional enemies, dealing 4 damage. If there's no other enemies to hit, Spark instead deals 20% increased damage. That's pretty cool too. So 20% of the time, you'll hit 3 extra targets. But it does seem like this is probably a single target attack, whereas Arc Lash had a shorter range, but like did a damage to everything in a row. Like this might be the best starter just because it hits multiple enemies. I'll definitely have to play around with it. And then I'm gonna have to like really go through a calculator later. There's so many skills here, but I kind of want to try Chain Lightning along with it. Chain Lightning was always one of my favorite skills, and then I'll probably also play around with Charge Bolt. So Chain Lightning gains a 3% increased critical strike chance per bounce. Sure, we'll try that.
The Angel in Arius. I'm sure you've heard the Cathedral of Light babbling about their Holy Father. Well, he's real. An angel walks among us. And when he learns that Lilith is here, blood will flow. They are ancient enemies. They'll drag the whole damn world into their feud, unless we can stop it. Let's not linger. Kyovashad lies just ahead.
Anarius. Yeah, that was the angel. Anarius, is that the one that she had the relationship with? I'm trying to... Brain's not working right now. I read a book not long ago, which at the time I thought, like, wow, this feels like if they made a Diablo novel. Like, I know there are Diablo novels, but you know what I mean. It was called... Between Two Fires. And it was basically like, back in... What period was it? Like, not medieval period, like, maybe, like the 1500s. It's been like a year since I read this book. Basically during like the plague times, when Europe was, you know, they lost so many people during the plague, and this noble knight finds a little girl, and the people he's with like decide they're going to rape her, and he decides to protect her, and he kills the vagabonds he's with, and it turns out that she is like some kind of divinely chosen girl, and the knight goes on an adventure to protect this girl, and at the same time there's literally like a war going on between heaven and hell all around them, with angels and demons, and it's just this knight, this kind of like fallen knight, who is on his journey to protect this angelic little girl, and it's very scary at times. It's like adventure story. I really dug it quite a lot. Watch out for that. So if you're looking for a book that kind of feels a little Diablo-esque, it's pretty awesome. The author, I think it's Christopher Buehlman, actually, is quite good. He wrote The Lesser Dead, which is maybe my favorite vampire novel that I've ever read. I feel like I'm digging this Chain Lightning quite a lot. This is fun. Look at the range on it. It's like do. I do wonder if man, it's going all the way across the screen. I do wonder if you have any advantage running the ultra wide. Like, will these abilities hit monsters on your screen that they wouldn't if you were on 16:9? I don't know. Just speculating here. Have to test it out for sure. Ooh, wall. They have brought a lot of the abilities from those previous scans here. Murmuring nobles? Complete local event. I hit B, but I didn't click it fast. And I get another point. So next rank just increases the damage by 3. But I still don't have any additional skill slots yet. Because right now I've spent, what? 1, 2, 3, 4. And I don't have a point here already. Here are the requirements I need. Each time Spark hits an enemy has a 3% chance to form a crackling energy. Crackling energy critically damage surrounding enemies. Spark grants 2% increased critical strike chance per cast for 3 seconds. Is that just on that ability, or is that just in general? Because if that's in general, that's pretty cool. So you can get up to 10% critical strike bonus. If lightning bounces off you, its next hit deals 25% increased damage. I didn't know it could bounce off you. Oh, and you up to 6 times, prioritizing enemies. Does it hurt me when it does that? I don't know if I noticed. I kind of want to mess with these crackling things, so maybe I'll try those. And then I could do the other one, which gives critical strike chance. So these must be like little mini events. Like Diablo 3 has a lot of these, and it's one of the things I actually like about that game. Is these mini encounters. I thought there was something out my door, maybe the roofers, but it is not. I was mistaken. I noticed there's no run button. Like, you're always running, which, you know, that was one thing in Diablo 2 that I think they could lose, and the game would not be any the worse for it.
Hold. To enter the city, you must
We
first...
have no time for this. To enter Kyovashad, you must perform a cleansing ritual. Meaningless gesture, but some people take comfort in it.
How dare you!
Just let him through, lad. I've tried for years to get Lorath to do the ritual.
Fine, but this one stays.
I'll meet you inside.
Take a piece of holy cedar wood from the shrine and inscribe it with the sin which troubles you. Then cast it into the brazier. As the fire burns the wood, so too will the light burn away your sin. This is a waste of time.
Yeah, I feel like
Did you say something?
the sorcerer would not put up with this bullshit.
Good. You must feel as though a great weight has been lifted from you. Welcome to Kyovashad.
I kind of feel like the model for the sorcerer feels like it should be the necro model. Like, I know the sorcerer is kind of weak and frail, and like he's not about you know, physical prowess, but like he looks almost sickly, like I would imagine that the Necro
old
would.
has lived through some dark days. Explains.
You know, one thing I don't like, I thought there would be a button to like, okay, right click, I didn't read it at the bottom. Left click advances, escape to skip conversation. So I was like, is there no way to just skip forward versus just skipping the whole conversation? But there is. Hey, look at those FPS. And then it balances out again. It definitely, maybe, I wonder if I run backwards. Or are those areas still loaded, like, into memory? Yeah, it kind of feels like when you go to an area, maybe for the first time that session, it must be loading it.
Find somewhere else to get warm. I was here first.
So, what did you write on a little piece of wood? I bet you didn't write anything at all. Wouldn't blame you. I'm off to the dry steppes in search of that pale man from your vision. I must know what part he plays in all this. But first, I need you to retrieve something of mine while I finish my negotiations. A merchant in the center of the city has it. Just tell him I sent you. The cathedral loves to go on about him. His imprisonment in hell, his valiant escape, his glorious return here, the world he created. But they never mention how being tortured in hell for a few millennia turned you into an ass. Sacrificing, summoning demons. There was a prophecy, yes. It foretold the rise of the primevals, the return of Lilith, and Inarius adopted the prophecy for his own selfish purposes. Put it in the Cathedral of Light's gospel, and made it seem like he... Cracked hooves, sway back, cloudy eyes.
This is the Stable Master. Progress the campaign and complete Mount Donan's favor to gain access to a mount.
Find somewhere else to get warm. I was here first.
Yeah, there is someone over here to interact with. Potion? Yes. Tiny healing potion. Heals 48 life instantly and 35% of your maximum health for 3 seconds. So this is... my current one only does 17. So it does look like one of the kind of upgrade mechanics is upgrading your potion. You can make an elixir, increases armor by X for 30 minutes. Okay, it's not too bad. I thought it was going to be like a minute long. If it's so short, I usually just ignore them, but 30 minutes isn't bad. Crafting material. Alright. And an incense. Except it's grayed out. I don't know what that is yet. I love that sound.
More injured each day.
Okay, let's, before I salvage. I wonder how it knows what is junk. Is it just the gray items? Because when I... is it just... because there's like little icons. Okay, is it going to salvage anything that's not an upgrade? If so, that's pretty clever. I'm assuming it's going by item power. Let's just see. I wonder, is this... like, that's better than what I'm wearing. Confused by what that little symbol means. How do I mark it as junk then? Equip, link, right comparison. Alright. Still don't know what this little... oh, is that... Unlocks new look on salvage. I just noticed at the bottom what that symbol means. I am blind. And when you salvage, you get materials. I bet I could take these to a vendor, and instead of salvaging for materials, I could probably...
Ah, so the old man's finally decided to buy it back. Knowing him, he didn't mention coin, did he? If he wants his weapon, you will need to pay.
Okay. Is that how they like...
The old man sold me this too. Said he didn't need it anymore, but I think he'd want it back all the same. No charge.
What?
I cannot do that here.
Range. Can I sell stuff here too? Yeah. So you got your choice, just like Diablo 3. That's cool, they got the buyback. It also looks like he has stuff here on a timer. So like in Diablo 2, you know, you'd run out of town, you'd run into town, an hour. Here, it looks like it's all on a timer. It's odd that there's only 2 items, and they seem specific to my character class, so I wonder if you only see items at the vendor that you know, your character can actually use. That seems like very expensive for 1,500 gold. And when I sell my better item to him, I only get 120.
Farewell, and good fortune.
It's a kind of a ripoff. Waypoints! I love waypoints. It's weird that I'm like an hour in and this is the first waypoint I found. I feel like this is going to be a lengthy beta. Yeah, I know what a waypoint is. It's got a little lock symbol. Rings and amulets. Varies level 10. These just have resistance on them.
Another time, then.
I like that the buyback follows you to whatever vendor you go to. I can't. Occultist, but I can't interact with them. So it's weird that they both have the lock symbol, but I could interact with the other one. I'm probably going to play like maybe another hour or so in this session before I'm going to have to break for dinner and hanging out with the family for a few hours.
Apologies.
He also gave me this amulet. What is it?
The mark of the Haradrim. An ancient order of scholars and mages, sworn to protect Sanctuary from demons. These days, we are few in number. There is another Haradrim, Donan. His breadth of knowledge about demons is equal only to his hubris.
Sounds like he could help us.
You should seek him out in Skosglen. But don't forget about the cathedral. They'll be expecting you, and they might prove to be useful allies too.
You're not coming with me.
I'm going to the Dry Steppes to find out who that pale man is. Join me when you can, just be careful. Your ties to Lilith, the visions you see. You are the key to finding her and stopping whatever she has planned.
That mounting animation is kind of terrible.
Sometimes our paths in life are set to collide. We just don't know it.
Lorath Nar.
Whether it is by accident or fate's hand, there is nothing we can do about it. The wanderer lost in the storm, fed the blood of Lilith, saved by a lone monk. Different lives and incidents drawn together. By what? Destiny? Or some greater power pulling the strings? I did not know. But at the time, I thought I had the chance to protect humanity from the daughter of hatred. The Wanderer's connection to her gave me hope. Imagine that.
I'm definitely digging the storytelling here. So did this... Where they just got this pop-up. So now I got town portals. New journal. It says Q to view active quests, but Q is my heal button. They mean J maybe? Yeah, J. Oh, okay, when you're in the... I got you. Travel to the Cathedral of Light. Find Donan at Eldaheim Keep. Cannot be progressed in this version. So you can't do these ones, it looks like. Right, if I select it. So I wonder if those are areas I can't get to, because it says dry steps. I'm gonna guess, yeah. So I'm thinking like we're limited probably to this area. I do wonder how many like quests there are. If there's like a lot of side quests, like Diablo 3 had a lot of quests like in the world, and then like in the post game there were a ton of kind of busy quests you could do. But Diablo 2, you know, had what six quests in the first 4 acts and first 3 acts, and then fewer in the 4th act and then the 5th act.
Yes, well, Bozan has yet to return from delivering our tithing demands to Menestad. Perhaps you could sweep the roads and see what's taking him so long. The cathedral must receive its dues.
So I got a side quest. Investigate the road. Yeah, look at those drops. I might have to adjust my settings here. So there are quests just in the game world that you can pick up, it seems.
The new militia recruits have been training night and day. They deserve a little praise, but I can't let them see me as soft. Mind giving them a cheer for me? Easy coin for you, a boost of confidence for the recruits, and I get to go on being the hard ass. Everybody wins.
I will handle it.
Kind of curious if this is the point where like co-op actually opened up, because I see now like a social menu I can mess around with, and I don't think that was there before. World tier status. Can I only change the world tier there? I got a codex, challenges.
Hello.
Impressive.
Don't know what it wants me to do here.
Greetings.
This is also, it looks like, where you can invite to party, trade, hello. Okay.
Impressive.
Did that Did that do something?
Thanks.
Okay.
I hope they don't get used to it.
That was the quest you gave me. I didn't notice I cut these. Oh, this is way better. I'm going to mission
We were
barbecue for dinner.
born in sin, children of darkness. But the Father's light can be sought through penitence and faith. Walk in the light. We must be ever vigilant against sin, brother.
Yes, Reverend Mother.
Let the light of Inarius burn away wickedness. Let not temptation lead you from his holy radiance. Let righteousness sear away corruption and sin. Cast out thy darkness, for only light must remain.
Cast out thine darkness, for only light must remain.
Is this the one from the west?
Yes, Reverend Mother. Did Lorath not accompany you?
He sent me on without him.
Putting faith in that old man was a mistake. What could possibly be of greater import?
Lilith.
So, you know. We have received word from one of our knights of a demon sighting in Gale Valley. The description matches too closely to the sighting in the west. If you would travel to Yelesna and take stock of the events there, you would have the gratitude of the Cathedral of Light. I had thought to send Lorath, but...
Again, he fails in his duty.
With or without Lorath, the will of Inarius shall be done. Here, take the knight's report before you go.
Okay.
Reverend Mother, I received a report of a potential demon sighting.
His skill is unmatched. But as you can see...
It's not out of indifference. He went...
So someone is helping her. She is spawn of a prime evil. Mark my words. Nevest was but that our father. The angel Inarius is... one of our flock. The watch commander, Vigo. Since the risk is too great to this...
It wants me to go that way. At least for my side quest. And it's interesting that they speak about Inarius as if he's like physically here. Curious, like, could he be a bad character? Like, are we gonna have to fight Inarius? Very curious where this story is going to go. My waypoint anywhere yet? I don't think so. No. That's the campaign quest, but I got the side quest to go over here. So I think that everything leading up to this city was like the prologue, and I'm not sure if I could have joined with another player at that stage or not. We'll have to see. Ooh, it's definitely hitching. Look at those. Suddenly 60 FPS. Wonder if it's gonna be like. Mostly good. It's still way lower than it was. Definitely digging these two in combination. So the spark will increase my critical chance, and then I'll launch crackling energy based on that chance. I kind of wish those would just heal you if you were already full of your your healing stuff. The map here is pretty cool. Like, you can really see like the pathway to get where you need to go. Like, I feel like more useful than the maps of other eras. And now I'm back at 140 again. I've only got the 10 gig 3080, and I wonder if I might be hitting memory limitations. Like, I'm using 9,700 almost megabytes of memory, though that's not necessarily allocated, or might just be allocated and not actually be in use. But I have had some issues, like thinking like Resident Evil Village. When I was recording, and if I bumped that all the way up with ray tracing, there were definitely moments where suddenly I would get really terrible performance until I restarted, and it seemed like it was generally due to issues with memory leaks, or just hitting the cap on my memory. I still don't know if I've seen any of those sparks come out yet. Chain lightning is so cool. Have I tried out everything? I haven't tried Charged Bolt yet, but I'm having a lot of fun with Chain Lightning, so I kind of feel like I might stick with this for the moment. I might go back to Frozen Orb, though. I definitely was enjoying Frozen Orb. How to get down there in that big chest? I still haven't seen any of those sparklings, even though I've got the increased
it's locked.
Crit chance. Okay. You need a Whispering Key. Where do I get a Whispering Key? Oh, are those the spark things? Oh, okay. You actually pick them up. Correctly damage surrounding enemies when picked up. I thought it was going to be like an orb that floated around. Okay. So that's what these are. Like that's from the crackling energy. I'm an idiot. I wasn't noticing that because my normal attack looked very similar to what those things are doing. I'm not sure what the cooldown is like on that, though. But they do seem to disappear over time. Maybe when I'm out of combat for so long.
Indeed I am. My god turned on me, tried to choke the life out of me. All I could do before I lost consciousness was go over the cliff. I need to return to Kyovashad and request...
So I'll turn your stuff in when I go back to town. Oh, wait, that was the quest I was on, wasn't it? So I can... portal? Does that leave me something where I can go back, I'm hoping? Look at those. Yeah, I'm like pretty close to my upper limit on RAM. I do wonder if I'm hitting like a cap on my memory usage. Who do I turn this into? Wait, he's out there? Did I just need to hand it over to the guy who was sitting there? Oh, okay, I gotta go this way. I thought it was someone in town he wanted me to take it to. Man. Oh, that's disgusting. That's cool. I had to disappear, though. I'm really loving the look of the game so far. It's kind of dark and grimy and good atmosphere. Yeah, those dead bodies, I wish I could shift the camera's perspective. Don't those look like people like with a sword stabbed inside of them?
I am so very grateful. How did this happen? I shouldn't be holding this in my hands. It should be.
Restraint, my lord. Restraint.
Ah, yes. Of course. Carry on, Isti.
An arrangement I made went awry, and I was exposed. He's camped somewhere near the pass to the northwest. Returned?
Okay. And it does seem like there's like a renown system for each area, right? I didn't see where that was though. I have no idea where they show. I got renown, but where is that stored at? Held at? I don't know.
If you've got the makings, I can mix it.
The 12 intellect first plus 4 core skill damage. Oops. No, this just straight up gives more attack power. That seems better. I still don't
These
think
pilgrims
I'm at
making
the
their
point where
way
I can
to
get a horse yet,
Kyovashad
anyway.
are good people. We do our best to keep them safe from the vampire infestation, but we can't.
Alright, where to now? Wayward Soul. There's an event up here. I just love lightning effects in these games. Like, the way it bounces around, like, the kind of stunning effect it has. The only problem is, like, they're not always that viable. Like, in Diablo 2, I feel like until you get in late game, it's just not that usable, other than Charge Bolt for leveling in Nova. What am I doing? I gotta defend this soul. Was that it? I just had to lead him there. Whoa, look at that thing! I gotta zoom in. Oh, I killed it too fast. That was like... It was like a flesh ballista. And now he's going back. Oh. Okay, so we're leading them to try to find their loved one. Look at that thing. That is so cool looking. It's kind of hard to focus on what the dude is saying or like what's happening because I'm trying to fight at the same time. Oh, there's a... Is that a druid? I thought... Oh, no, there's the enemies. For a minute, I thought that was a shapeshifter there. I gotta get these little orbs. Little orbies. Nice. Because I'm like, isn't the druid not in this week's alpha or whatever? Okay. I'm just kind of leveling up at this stage. I think what's going to happen tonight, I'm going to continue my playthrough on my Sorceress with my buddy. I was going to make a new character, but I think he's going to play through the prologue and kind of catch up to this point. So I'll probably, in my next video, I'll continue the playthrough with this character, but I'll be doing some co-op. And then if I do manage to get up to, you know, beating the beta or whatever, get up to the cap, I will probably create a new character.
Mero sent you. That spineless merchant. Ha! This will cost him dearly.
Oh. I should probably read the quest, because I didn't realize I was about to fight that guy. So, when it bounces off of me, I don't think it hurts me, but I think, like let's say there's an enemy here, an enemy here, it'll go like, dunk, 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 so like it can actually reach him. Like, you know, usually if there's not enemies, it won't bounce that far. But I think the fact that it'll bounce off of you allows it to do so. I didn't pick up that waypoint while I've been down. While I was in town, I could have just teleported back. The world here is definitely large. Those little lightning things are pretty sweet. Love the lightning buddies. Here. Did I unlock any more? Oh, I did. I didn't even notice it. They now just gave me all of those. I guess, like, if I went with a secondary, I could throw like Frozen Orb on there to have the chilling, and it doesn't seem like there's much advantage right now, at least, in like going like all lightning. Like, would there be any benefit in going with Charge Bolt over like throwing a point in Frozen Orb? I'm not so sure. Do any of these, I think at least 3 times with the same charge. Charge Bolt deals 25% increased damage to stunned enemies, so you do have that going for you. You can stun. Any enemy with Charge Bolts reduces their damage dealt. Kinda want to go with, have a Frozen Orb on my, so I could throw one of those out. Because I can't put points there or there. I guess I really should have continued putting points into probably Chain Lightning. But I like having that chilling effect from Frozen Orb, and just Frozen Orb is badass. Alright, now I can teleport. back there.
So, the deed is done. Excellent. I knew you would prove worthy of my trust. I'm sure you've heard the new word as it spreads. We will no longer suffer at the hands of the lesser.
Is he talking about Lilith or Inarius, or share the context there? This reminds me of like getting Diablo 2 or getting Diablo 3 for the first time and having this huge open world and like having no idea what skills are good, having no idea what abilities, having like the story is all new and unique to me. Like I can remember bringing home Diablo 2. I got it on release day. So like Diablo 1, I got a PC in like '99 for the first time. My own first like decent personal computer. And my buddy convinced me to get Diablo 1. They had been playing it for a while, so they really were able to like guide me on that game. Hooked me up with loot and stuff. But Diablo 2, it came out and we all got it on day one and we were all figuring it out together, and it was such an awesome experience. I think the very first character I ever made, it was a paladin, and it was the worst paladin in the world. I put like points into might, I put points into sacrifice, like I had no idea what I was doing. Where should I actually be going now? I'm just kind of wandering out here. I guess I should try to go towards the next campaign quest, but I kind of just want to explore. And I kind of don't want to continue the campaign until I'm able to play with my buddy. So maybe I'm only going to be playing for like another 15-20 minutes. I think I'm just going to do some more side quests until that time.
Yeah.
That was weird, right? What is this? Event is nearby. But just that like sense of like exploration is so amazing in this game. Like the first time you're going through Diablo 1, like just remember how that felt, and like your character sucked. You had no idea what skills to use, all that stuff. But it was so much fun, and that's kind of that's the feeling I have right now. Is like I've got a new Diablo game. I really don't care if it's great or not. It's new Diablo stuff. It's new action RPG, and right now, like I'm really digging this. I'm not saying it's bad, but even if this game doesn't live up to the hype, even if it's not even as good as Diablo 3, I'm still excited to play it. Like I don't know. It's you don't get a new Diablo game every day. I mean, we did get Diablo Immortal, but that barely counts. But I don't know. I'm hyped. I'm hyped to finally be playing this. And right now, I'm enjoying this. I would say more than I was enjoying Diablo 3 on that first day. Like, I liked Diablo 3, and to this day, I still think it's a pretty decent game, especially with the expansion and like all that they've done since that expansion came out. I don't know what this event is supposed to be. Like, things are just spawning, slay the remaining enemies. So it's just one of those, like, slay all the waves of enemies. Event complete. I get some rares. Cool. I'm not really looking deeply at these right now. Like, if the item power is higher and, like, the stats, are comparable, I'm just grabbing them. It is throwing me for a loop. Like, I'm not using my potions because, like, in Diablo 2, I wouldn't use them unless I had to. But here, I'm gonna miss out on, like, the ones that drop because I can only carry 4 at a time right now. It feels a little awkward. Like, I do wish, that if one is on the ground and you had your potions were full, that it would just auto-use them. I feel like that would be cool. Ay, ay, ay. Frozen. I should be using more of that too. My performance there was like really spiky. Oh look, you could see the I didn't get in there quick enough. You could see the frost on me. That was cool. These guys are level 8. I am level 9, right? Yeah. I'm not sure if the game scales with you. Like this says, is that the area level or is that my level? I think that's the area level. But they all say level 9. So I'm kind of wondering if, like, okay, this area is level 18, but if I come there at 25, it's level 25 to me. I'm wondering, I think that's maybe the system, because all these areas say level 9, and I know I was exploring these areas previously. And the way the acts work, I'm really curious about, because right now, like, I know this is just Act 1 in the beta, but, like, it seems like you have a lot of ability to freely explore. So, do you have to take these acts in a specific order? Do you have to experience the story in a specific way? Or is there more freedom in how you explore it? I'm very interested in how mechanically all these systems kind of, like, work together. And I don't know if even by the end of the beta if I'm going to have a good picture of how this all works. Right now, this is feeling like this moment here. This is probably not a good thing. It feels like Diablo Immortal a little bit. Like I'm just kind of wandering around, like things respawn almost instantly. The way this is multiplayer, but not really at the moment. Like, I don't know. I'm not, like, I've been having fun, but like this moment, suddenly my mind just went like, am I playing Diablo Immortal right now? Because this is like exactly what you do in Diablo Immortal. It's like you run around, you run into the real people out there. It's kind of like instance, but people, like, you interact with them kind of on the fly. I'm curious. I'm going to try to run up here. I want to see what happens when we get to the border of the zone. That'll probably be the end of the session today. You see level 9 again. I'm thinking the area scales to you. Unless it's an area that's been designated like, you know, this one up here says level 18 or whatever. I just want to see when I try to leave this area, like that's the dry steps there. I don't think it's going to let me go over there. Yeah. Diablo, yeah, like I was talking about, Diablo 1, got it way after release. Diablo 2, I got it day 1, was terrible at it. It took me forever to beat it, like, just, you know, I had not played a lot of those games. Diablo 1 was really like the first, like, action RPG, CRPG, what have you. And then Diablo 2, it took me a long time, but I finally really got it. Yeah, turn back now. So it will not let you... Yeah, it's going to teleport me back to town, I bet. I'm just curious. Yeah, so I just teleported me back here. So that's how they are preventing you from exploring. So it seems like... What areas can you go to? Probably these. That one. Fractured Peaks. Like, you can see at the top. I don't think they're there. So you'll be able to explore probably all of that. That's Gosglen. So that's probably Act 2. So it's Act 1. I guess in Act 2 based on the levels. Act 3. Four, maybe? Kyrgyzstan. Yeah. But I do wonder, like, when you're outside of the beta, like, if I was playing the full game, obviously, I could have just wandered into this next zone, right? Like, there doesn't seem to be any gating system in place. So I am curious, like, can you take a lot of these missions, these quests, and do them in your own order? It kind of feels that way. And I don't know how I feel about that. Like, imagine playing Diablo 2 and just being able to, like, bounce to Act 3 and everything scaled to your difficulty. Is that a good or a bad thing? I guess Diablo 3 already kind of does that with adventure mode. Like, you beat it once, following the story, and then you mostly play adventure mode when you're leveling up and getting gear and, you know, making a second character. And in that, you're basically going from act to act, just doing, like, these daily quest kind of things. Not really daily quests, but, like, you know, like, you pick up quests and they'll say, go to, you know, Act 3 and kill 7 of these. Go to Act 4 and defend this place, that kind of thing. feels a little laggy when I try to turn some of these in. Like I have to do it more than once.
Bloom. I could use it in a little project for one of my best clients. What that client ordered isn't useful to you, but I'll trade you something useful for the Frost Bloom.
Okay. What did he give me? Experience, a cash, and gold. These caches feel right out of Diablo 3 as well, which it's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't see that and I'm like immediately turned off by it. Diablo 3 did some things right. How did I pull that menu up? W. Okay, so there's region progress. I went to the map, hit W, and I don't love this stuff. Like, Diablo Immortal was just surrounded by this kind of like, there's so many screens you'd go to, and this one kind of has it too. I didn't really go into it yet much. But like, there's so many codexes and different tabs, and like I would log into Diablo Immortal, and before I could even start playing, I had to go through like 15 different windows and like get all of my rewards. Like that's kind of like kill 30 enemies with critical strikes from your ranged attack. And then when you do that, you get like some kind of reward. But in Diablo Immortal, there like here's one. Yearly Deadeye. So I got player title for that. That I will say I didn't do this in 1969, right? Yeah, the dates in there clearly kind of broken. But at least you don't have to come in here and collect them all. And these seem mostly like player titles, those kind of things. Bellowing Voice.
Greetings.
Meticulous Armory. I have no idea what some of these are. Say player titles. I'm assuming like when you beat Diablo 2, they'd give you those titles. I'm assuming that's kind of what it is here. But I just want to play the game. I don't need so many layers of progression. Like, I don't see any yet. But if there's daily rewards, I'm going to be annoyed because I don't know. I'm kind of over live service. I just want to play the game at my own pace and have fun and everything. That gave me 1 skill point for every character on the realm, did it say? So you get points for leveling, but you can also get skill points that'll be... I'm going to have to create a new character and see how that works. Curious. It's kind of like the Paragon points, but I was expecting that at level 50. But I don't know. The life service thing I'm kind of over. I kind of hope this game doesn't push too hard into that territory. That'll kind of depress me if it's like daily quests and grinding reputation nonstop and stuff. Like I'm okay with some reputation system, and it doesn't look like too crazy here. All it's given you is gold and oduls and Paragon points. The fact that you get skill points is interesting. I don't know. But there's 7 waypoints in the region, 3 strongholds, 35 side quests. Okay. 77 areas. I've discovered 16. And this is just for Fractured Peaks, right? Yeah. 23 side dungeons, of which I've done 0? I thought I went to a side dungeon already. And I found 1 of 28 altars, and each of those give you permanent buffs. I kind of like that idea that there's things in the world you have to find. Like Diablo 1 definitely had some of that, where you'd find like the skill books that would permanently increase your stats, and you kind of had to search for them. I kind of like the concept of like you're in the world searching for these things. They do appear to be account-wide, so I don't think you have to do this. Because the skill point said it was account-wide. I'm assuming all of these rewards claimed by each character unlocks for all characters on a realm. Requires unlocking World Tier 3. So these ones you can't do until you get to World Tier 3. And you see, like, okay, so this unlocks for all characters on the realm. This is for that individual character. So the gold and experience is for the individual. These, skill point, potion charge, skill point, obol, well, not obol, These 3 are account-wide, so that'll give you 1 more potion charge. That'll give you 1 more skill point charge. Okay. I'm starting to, like, grasp a little bit. That's not as bad as I was, like, first assuming.
Be wary on the road.
Is there anything I need to equip here? Better. No. Yeah. No. Few mana cost reduction, 6% resistance, 7% resistance. More armor. But I get a dodge chance, mana cost reduction, lower 1 to all stats. Plus 1 to max evade charge. I didn't notice that. That's cool. That's very cool as a stat. Now I can dodge twice before the cooldown starts. Okay, I'm gonna definitely use those. So that's something, like, look at the item power on the ones I have equipped. The item power is lower there, and like if all you're doing is look at item power, I would think that, you know, the ones I don't have equipped are better, but the fact that I get an evade charge, that's a big bonus. I feel like that should be weighted higher. I'm gonna keep those on. And then I wonder if I should break that down, because it's only got, there's only a 1 sell value. Is that because it was a quest item? Yeah, count bound. That must have been from one of the quests.
Fair trade.
I'm gonna see what happens if I try to break that down.
Farewell.
Is there a
good fortune
blacksmith kind of dude?
I cannot do that here.
Will he not?
I cannot salvage that.
Can you not salvage quest rewards? Or like, however I got this account bound stuff? I'm confused by that. I feel like you should be able to do that.
That cannot be salvaged.
Oh, cannot salvage. Why? If anyone understands that, let me know. I'm confused. Was this a quest reward, or was this something I got from like my achievement window or something? I still don't understand why you couldn't break those down. That doesn't make any sense at all to me. I mean, I'm starting to grasp some of the systems. Maybe by the end of the weekend I'll have a better grasp. I'm only going to be able to play maybe 10 hours this weekend. I've got maybe 2 hours in so far. Tonight I'll probably play for like another 4. Tomorrow night I'll be able to play for a few hours. Sunday I'm going to be with the family for most of the day. And then next weekend I should have about equal time. So over this weekend and next weekend I plan to put together maybe 20 hours of gameplay. We'll see. Maybe not. If I get burnt out on this, I may stop early. But right now I'm totally digging it. I'm enjoying this first session. I'm enjoying. There's a few things a little rough around the edges, things that don't completely make sense yet. I'm loving the atmosphere and the feeling, the music, the graphics, all look real nice. It's got like this right now reminds me so much of Act 5 in Diablo 2. The Stowe region, like listen to that music. It sounds a lot like the Act 5 kind of music you hear. It's very evocative of both Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, and I just hope they took the right lessons from those games. You know, Diablo 1, you get that atmosphere, you get that scariness, you get that butcher coming out of the room, fresh meat. Diablo 2, you get the systems, you get the items, you get the permanence of the characters. Diablo 3, and this is maybe controversial, but I think the combat in Diablo 3, the moment-to-moment action, how hard-hitting, like when a barbarian swings and the guy goes flying. I really like the actual moment-to-moment gameplay of Diablo 3. I just thought a lot of the systems around it were very messy, and the fact that there's lack of any permanence to your character, the fact that you can swap skills on demand, in the long run I didn't like. And I think a good compromise here is the fact that you can reset, and up to level 15 you can do it for free, and then after that it's a cost that goes up and up until, like, my understanding is endgame it's very costly to do respecs on demand. So I feel like there's a good compromise here. It's similar to the Diablo 2 system where you get a certain number of respecs that they added later on. But yeah, I'm going to end the video here. I will be playing more. It just takes a long time to process these videos. This probably won't go up until Friday evening. So if you're not able to play, I plan to have some videos up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe I'll like, you know, edit some of this footage to point out some very specific things. But again, I do want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, I've got so much Diablo content on this channel. I've got hundreds of videos for Diablo 2. I've got a good number for Diablo 1 and 3. I love action RPGs. That's my thing. I do cover a lot of other games also. I also cover virtual reality, retro gaming in general. I'm into all kinds of stuff. So if you like what I'm doing, please do like, subscribe. Drop me a comment with your thoughts. Just thank you one more time for watching, everyone. Have a great night.